From Statesboro, Georgia, we are at Eric Russell Park tonight for USL League One action here on ESPN+. It's Tormenta FC and Union Omaha. Two clubs both looking for their first wins of this League One campaign. I'm Donnie Barnes. South Georgia coming off a 1-0 defeat to NCFC in their opening league match a couple weekends ago. Union Omaha drew 2-2 with forward Madison last weekend. Let's look at players to watch for this matchup today, and we'll begin with the home side. And Arthur Bosua headed home this second half winner at Charleston Battery in the U.S. Open Cup last week. The first win of the season, albeit not a league match, but it did advance South Georgia to the third round of the Open Cup. And Bosua very good in the air, as head coach told us this week. He'll be a player that Union Omaha will have to mark closely in the box. For the Owls, Hugo Kamatani tallied his first professional goal last weekend. A guy who starred in Omaha at the University of Nebraska Omaha, slamming one into the roof of the net to open his professional account. He's had a really good start to his pro career in his first two games, has looked dangerous, and another guy that Tormenta will have to mark closely today. Should be a great matchup between two attacking sides with lots of new faces this season. We'll have starting lineups and first kick in just a moment.
From Kids World Learning Center here in Statesboro, Georgia. Let us take care of all of your child care needs here at Kids World Learning Center, from your infants all the way to your after-schoolers. We also have a summer camp and holiday camp for those older children, and we have our brand new bus for our field trips, for the children to have fun and to learn and to explore new things all around our beautiful county. Thank you for trusting us with your most prized possessions.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, will be to save Bullock County from slow internet. To do so, you must recruit an exceptional tech team. They must be fast, reliable, and absolutely fearless. Time is of the essence. Bullock's internet is dependent on your success.
Vamos, Tormenta.
Vamos, Tormenta.
Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta.
We have some young players helping escort our two teams onto the field today, South Georgia and Union Omaha. Let's look at the starting 11s for these two sides today. And we'll begin with the home side. South Georgia Tormenta FC lining up in a 4-1-4-1. This is the same lineup, an unchanged lineup from their opening league match 2 weeks ago, with Phelps and Dengler anchoring the back line. And their head coach, Ian Cameron, really happy with how that defensive partnership has gelled early on this season. We mentioned Arthur Bosua. He is the lone striker up top, and Bill Hart and Cabral anchoring the midfield. Heckenberg, the pivot player in the midfield. Chris Heckenberg, a rookie in this league. He's also gotten off to a fast start in his first League One campaign. Now for Union Omaha, they have to make two changes from their last starting 11 last week against forward Madison, largely due to injury. Gabriel Claudio is on for Alex Touche. We're not sure if that's an injury-related substitution or just a straight swap. We do know that Dion Akoff was listed as questionable ahead of this match, so he gives way out of the starting 11. And a first start of the season for Giovanni Montestioca on that right side of midfield. Of course, Rashid Nuhu, as usual, between the sticks for Union Omaha, as he has been the last two seasons. It is Union Omaha wearing their all-white kits today for the first time this year. They wore their white tops for the first time, their new white tops last weekend. They wore them with black shorts, though, going with the white-on-white combo today. And Tormenta with those new home kits that they debuted a couple weeks ago. Great look with the magenta and navy blue. So just about set for soccer on this Saturday evening. Islan Pexanar is our referee this evening. Fairly mild evening in South Georgia tonight. Just waiting for the center referee's signal to kick. It is South Georgia to get things started as they'll attack from left to right across your screen. And we're underway on this Saturday night at Eric Russell Field. One of the last couple of matches that South Georgia hopes to play here on this pitch as the ball headed forward for the first quasi-attack of the night, but quickly off his line to smother was Pablo Jara. He takes that kick really long. Headed clear by Dalton Knutson, who is starting in that center of defense. First touch for Deshaun Nemhard, and he puts that out into touch. I love those center picnic tables right at that center line there. You have to watch the action. The ball flew right over them. Fortunately, didn't disturb the picnic. So Union Omaha with a good ball out to the right from Dalton Knutson. Gabriel Cabral was able to intercept. The Owls, of course, who generally like to play a counter-attacking style. A little bit of an attacking impetus early in this match, but it'll be a throw for South Georgia along that far touchline. No, Union Omaha throw, excuse me. First burst for Noe Meza down that right side. Meza looking to swing a low cross in. Queued up into the air. Not properly cleared, and now the flag goes up. Meza apparently penalized for a foul. It'll be a free kick for Tormenta. Well, Noe Meza, who has started up top in a two-striker formation in the first couple matches this year, both in the U.S. Open Cup match against Des Moines Menace and last weekend in the league opener against Forward Madison, appears to be starting this match out on the right. We saw him try to put that cross into the box a moment ago. Little head tennis as Union Omaha looking to flick it along. Hugo Kamatani got ahead to it for a brief moment. Now Tormenta playing that long ball from the back line. Much too long for anybody to run onto. The only question is, will that be a throw in deep in the corner or a goal kick? It did cross the end line. And it will be the first goal kick of the night for Rashid Nuhu. And South Georgia Tormenta looking forward to moving into their new park, Optum Sports Medicine Field. At some point early this season, they hope. They're scheduled to play their next home match here at Eric Russell Field on May 7th. The new park is taking shape quickly now. Hope to play the majority of this season in it. Stands will be completed during this season, and then more ancillary development around it will be completed later this year and early next. Good defending down in that corner. It's going to be a throw for Union Omaha right by that corner flag. Ryan Jiba, who has shown electric pace down that left wing for Union Omaha in these first couple matches. Launching a long throw into the box. Union Omaha will pull it back and maintain possession. Amir Ali Hadzik back forward down the line. Put into the box dangerously. Connor Doyle will get there and recycle for the Owls. Hara off his line, and he claims right at the edge of that penalty area. So cagey first 5 minutes of this match. See Ian Cameron there at the bottom of your screen. He wanted his team to be really physical and really competitive this year. This is going to be a free kick for Union Omaha. He felt last year they were very young, a bit undersized physically, and a bit naive. And so they've brought in a lot of new faces this year. He said there was a willingness to be physical and do that physical side of the game, but sometimes not the ability with their roster last season. And he thinks they're much better equipped to deal with the physical rigors of League One play this year. He was really happy with how they handled Charleston Battery in their U.S. Open Cup match. That 1-0 win on the road a couple weeks ago. So that was just one test, but it was a test passed. That ball flicked into the box, almost reached Hugo Kamatani. The flick on from J.P. Skiers, who we weren't sure whether he'd be able to start this week. He was listed as questionable going into the match, but able to make the match day squad in the starting 11 again. He scored in Union Omaha's first two matches, both against Des Moines Menace in the Open Cup and against Forward Madison last week. The ball running out of play on Adrian Billhart, and the throw in for the visitors. Last time these two matched up last season, Union Omaha thumped Tormenta 4-0 on this pitch. Not a good clearance there from Hara. And then the foul and a free kick for Union Omaha. Well, Pablo Hara with a forgettable clearance, and it was Joey Brito who was bundled over after he accepted that gift and looked to make the most of it. Union Omaha's looked really dangerous off set pieces this year, and Jay Mims said this week this might be the best team he's ever had at any level from set pieces. Said every time we get one, we look like we're going to score. They scored from a corner against Des Moines. And Joey Brito has been taking most of their free kicks. He's been really good with his delivery. He runs over this one, and it's taken high and over the bar by Noe Meza. So a little change of pace that time, after everybody assumed Brito would take. Meza couldn't keep it down. So 4-0 Union Omaha the last time they visited this park. And Ian Cameron said his side were very naive that day. That's a bad turnover in the midfield, given right to Adrian Billhart, looking to forge his way forward. His progress was halted by Connor Doyle. Tormenta have to move it back to their back line. Long switch to that far side, good ball. And Kingsford Ajay just had it run off his foot and out for a goal kick. Neat link-up play down that left side for the home side. Unable to generate a chance from it. Tormenta still without Toby Otieno, who they signed, of course, from Union Omaha during this last off-season. Still awaiting his arrival. Kenyan U.S. Embassy issues. So it will be a big piece they hope to get at some point this season. towering header there. It was Deshaun Nemhard who won that header a moment ago. And then he swings and misses at that clearance. Union Omaha onto the attack. And trying to touch it out wide was Brito. Didn't get enough on it to find Meza. Now the counter is on for Tormenta. Galloping down the left side. Ajay. Into the box. And off the bar. And it comes right back to Nuhu. And Union Omaha dodges a bullet. Tormenta inches away from opening the scoring. Well, Ajay with a delicious ball into the box. Ajay. And Bosua throwing himself at it and just couldn't keep it down enough on the redirection. And now a ball for Pablo Jara to deal with at the other end, and he's able to do so. Ahead of Giovanni Montes de Oca. Nearly a tackle from J.P. Skierus, and now offside as Adrian Billhart ahead of the last attacker when that pass left his teammate's foot. See how crucial those clashes in midfield are, how quickly both these teams can turn a midfield battle into an attacking sequence. Now Arthur Bosua nearly scoring with his foot a moment ago on that cross from Kingsford Ajay. He's a guy that, as we mentioned in our open, they're really going to try to find his head much of the time. That's his biggest strength. But he can score with his feet as well, and about an inch away from doing so. Their attacking throw for Ryan Jiba. Again, launching it into the box. And then concedes the throw at the end of that sequence. Again, Ryan Jiba can be electric, motoring up and down that left channel. He was beaten defensively a couple times last week against forward Madison. Brito has not been a defender until this year. He's only had a handful of weeks of preseason and 2 matches playing in defense. He's previously a central midfielder and other attacking positions. Jay Mims said this week that his best defense is to get forward and run. Just get forward, get on the ball, let them worry about you. Of course, he does expect that Jiba will get better at those defensive one-on-ones as the season goes on, especially if they continue to try to attack and isolate him on that side. He said he's going to have to. He's going to get the reps. He's going to get lots of practice. Again, both these coaches expect their sides to get better as the year goes on. A lot of teaching and coaching to be done with lots of new faces. Kingsford Ajay, who so nearly set up the opening goal a few minutes ago. And he's left his goalkeeper with something to do there, and Pablo Jara just has to slide it out into touch. Union Omaha looking to get it back in play quickly. Skierus squares it to Brito. Now everybody reset defensively for Tormenta. Scoop to Connor Doyle, lining it up with the right. Maybe took a bit too much time on it. Now Brito is going to stay in play for him. And good defending down there as it's out for a goal kick. Well played by Alex Morel. As Brito just looked to turn the corner on him, Morel able to shut the door. A couple shaky moments early on for Pablo Jara in that back line. And Union Omaha trying to spring that press. Forced a bit of a slack pass, but it fell to a Tormenta foot. Union Omaha able to force them into an aimless ball forward, and then who's this foul going to be against? Bosua goes down, and it's going to be a card to Dalton Knutson, who feels that he was the one who was fouled. He can't believe that. It's going to be a free kick for Tormenta. See it again. Well, Bosua did look like he got there first. Knutson didn't see him coming. Knutson felt it was Bosua who interfered with him. Never comfortable for a center back to have to play on a yellow for most of the match, and that's what Dalton Knutson's going to have to do tonight. Shown a card in the 15th minute. It's Gabriel Cabral lined up over this free kick. He has Adrian Billhart to his right. Two-man wall for Union Omaha at the corner of the box. Jay Mims barking out defensive instructions to his team. Billhart leaves it, and Cabral wants everybody to reset. His teammates went early. Now Cabral takes, and a dangerous delivery, and volleyed out for a corner as Jiba able to clear it. First corner kick of the match. So this time it'll be Adrian Billhart to take with that left foot. To cause chaos with that in-swinger. Low delivery, skipping all the way across the box. And then from distance, it's deflected out off a Union Omaha defender. It will be another corner from that opposite side. Sequence of pressure for Tormenta. They had lots of pressure against NCFC in their first league match a couple weekends ago and could never make it pay. Ian Cameron felt they didn't show enough urgency early in that match. Didn't get enough balls into the box to create enough danger and end product either. This corner put right on top of the 6 and somehow spins off to the right. And it's a throw for Tormenta. Billhart leaving this one to Curtis Thorne, who's going to launch this one after the long run-up. Union Omaha get to the first header, and then a whistle, and a free kick for Tormenta. So a free kick just outside the box. And you see Union Omaha setting up that 5-man wall. Almost on top of Rashid Nuhu. Billhart and Cabral again in the vicinity. Referee wants to make sure that Omaha's wall is properly set. And Kingsford Ajay is in a place he's permitted to be. Who will it be, Cabral or Billhart? It is Billhart. He goes low and right into the arms of Nuhu. Went under the wall there, did Adrian Billhart. Rashid Nuhu well positioned. Still can be tricky for a goalkeeper when you don't see it until it skitters right under your wall. And to make sure you have safe hands and clutch that to your chest, and he did. Rito volleying forward. Skierce into exchange with Kamatani. Jake Dengler being pressured by two Owls. Looping up in the air. Jiba after it. Now Billhart is taken down. This is going to be a second card to Union Omaha, and Skierce picks this one up. So Knutson and Skierce both on yellows. So it was Billhart trying to sprint away and Skierce clipping his heels. And he goes into the book. So 20 minutes in, 0-0. Long punt forward. Second ball crucially won by Union Omaha. Nemhart, now Ajay. He's been dangerous early on. Kingsford Ajay dancing on the edge of the area. Cuts to the end line, pulls it back. Good positioning by Connor Doyle. And Union Omaha calmly playing their way out of the back and then trying to launch the counterattack long. Good reading and intercepting, though, by Jake Dengler. And up and down they go. And now Ajay trying to run it. Amir Ali Hadzik, and Ali Hadzik wins that battle. And then the counterattack for Union Omaha, and Kamatani is offside. Exciting sequence. And Kamatani, that was a good finish, wasn't it? Opponents often don't like that when you put the ball in their net after an offside. The referee warning Hugo about that. If you're going to do that, though, you might as well chip a delightful long-distance lob that bounces into the net. Great technique by Kamatani. Now Ajay, dangerous again. And there again was Ali Hadzik. Free kick for Union Omaha. Approaching the midway point of the first half. Elsewhere around the league, they're at halftime in North Carolina. NCFC and Greenville 1-1. Greenville Triumph had opened the scoring there, but NCFC have equalized before half. It's also 1-1 in Charlotte between Charlotte Independence and Northern Colorado Hailstorm. It's Northern Colorado who opened the scoring there. Charlotte equalized just a couple minutes later. Both those goals inside the opening 15. Charlotte and Richmond also underway. They are scoreless in the 20th minute. Here comes Union Omaha now. Switch to Kamatani. Kamatani from the edge of the area, and he slices it wide. Kamatani can hit them with both feet. And Jay Mims said this week that's 95% of the time an asset, of course, for a striker. It's great to be able to score equally with either foot. It actually worked against him, he felt, on the big chance that fell to him in the second half last week. After he scored beautifully in the first half, he had a great chance to make it 3-1 against forward Madison. Tried to toe poke it with his left foot, and Mims felt he should have curled it with his right. He said occasionally when you have a striker who's two-footed, that's the downside. Sometimes they have to think too much about which foot to use. If you're just heavily right-footed, for example, you know you're going to use your right. You don't have to think about it. But again, overall, something that will serve Kamatani very well in his career, and already has in his All-American collegiate career. But it's Tormenta on the attack at the moment, and a good surge down that left. More defending for Omaha to do. Crossed along that end line. But Meza had to be careful there, had to win that challenge. It's going to come back at them, though. Top of the 6-yard box and stabbed over. Awkwardly reaching back to try to redirect it goalwards was Billhart, and unable to do so. Good attacking sequence, though, by Tormenta. Those are two goalkeepers capable of getting lots of distance on their goal kicks. We've seen that plenty with Rashid Nuhu the last couple seasons. Another opportunity here if he wants it, and indeed he does. Kamatani got up. I don't think he made contact with it, and neither did Curtis Thorne. Here are both head coaches shouting at their players. Two very distinctive voices, Jay Mims and Ian Cameron. Ian Cameron, of course, a native of Scotland. His father played quite a few years for Partick Thistle and briefly for Aberdeen in the top flight of Scottish football. There's a turnover, and Mesa trying to thread through. Montes de Oca pulls it back, and a right-footed strike flies just wide. Good effort, just off target. And a couple turnovers, as it was J.P. Skeers who almost scored a thunderbolt there. And a couple turnovers by that Tormenta back line in these opening 25 minutes. Can't do that too often against Union Omaha. And excuse me, that was Connor Doyle trying to score from distance. We expected both these teams to be pretty direct, and they have been. And there's Nuhu out to claim that. Ian Cameron felt Tormenta did not give Arthur Bosua nearly enough service in their home opener against NCFC 2 weeks ago. Really wanted to see them change that tonight. Said Bosua considers himself an animal in the box. Toward that end line and shepherded out by Jake Dengler. Pablo Jara wearing the captain's armband. He was their starter throughout last season, a guy whose character is unquestionable, Ian Cameron said before the start of this season. Chris Heckenberg was asking for the ball there, never got it. Now it's played all the way back to Jara. A throw in for Curtis Thorne. Thorne trying to find Ajay, who had come all the way across the pitch. Another attacking throw, and Thorne will take this one as well. Back into the mix it comes. Almost fell to Ajay, did fall to Bosua, and he was unable to do anything constructive with it. Goal kick. Well, Tormenta clearly trying to get balls into the box and feast on those second balls. And it's almost come off for them a couple times. Tormenta had 73% of the possession in that 1-0 defeat to NCFC 2 weeks ago. That was a situation they didn't find themselves in very often last year, having almost all of the possession and facing a very packed-in, low-block defense. Jiba with a difficult ball there for Nuhu. Nuhu able to clear only as far as Ajay. Jiba then cleaned it up. Still might fall to Ajay here. He's going to get to it by the end line. Pulled back edge of the box. Cabral stabs it back out to Ajay. And then the left-footed cross was headed clear by Connor Doyle. Tormenta looking dangerous over these last handful of minutes. That crossfield ball was intercepted by Ali Hadzik, looking to thread it through to Montes de Oca. Decent idea. Thorne let it bounce. Bill Hart chested it down. So Tormenta trying to switch play often. That is one way to beat a press. And they switch it again to the right side, and Thorne, a little back heel flick to Bill Hart, returning to the overlap of Thorne, pulls it across, and there's Nuhu. And not the finish that Alex Morel would have hoped for. Unable to get much on it. Great chance for Tormenta after a beautiful build-up. What good interchange that was. Thorne and Bill Hart and Thorne again, and a great pullback, and Morel made an excellent run, but just wasn't able to make a clean connection with that ball. And Nuhu and Union Omaha grateful for that. Well, it's been Tormenta asking all the questions over the last handful of minutes. Union Omaha stabilize and start asking questions again themselves. Ajay and then Nemhart. Ajay again. Good combination between those two. Ajay has roamed all over that final third in this opening half hour. Here he is again. Looking to run at the back line. Ajay. A little bit too much on that ball for Bosua. Union Omaha looking to break out. Down the line they go. Montes de Oca checks up. Good hold-up play. And brings Brito into the play. And Brito spreads it wide for Kamatani. Kamatani's cross. That's dealt with easily by Sean Nemhart, and the throw for Union Omaha on that far side, which Montes de Oca will leave for a teammate. Throw in taken quickly. A couple Tormenta players weren't watching. Lifted into the box. And the initial header was won by Skierce, and then from outside the area, Skierce hit the post. Oh, JP Skierce almost had his third goal in as many matches this year. Scored in the Open Cup match, scored last week against Madison, inches away from scoring there. Just a lofted ball in. Skierce got his head to it first, and then the shot from outside the area. The ricochet fell to Skierce. Inside of the post and out. Attack continues from the ensuing corner. Jiba tries to swing it in. Bill Hart got there. It will be another corner. And so now it's the Owls with a spell of sustained pressure. Both teams have hit the woodwork in these opening 32 minutes. Tormenta hit the bar early on. Union Omaha, the left post a moment ago. So another corner for Joey Brito to take. And toward that near post and headed just over. Well, Brito with another very dangerous delivery. And Union Omaha again looking ever dangerous from set pieces. I think that was Skierce again. And he scored both his goals with his head. And this press starting to function much better for Omaha now. Skierce won it back. And then Montes de Oca with some momentum. Thought about it for a moment. Tries to play in Brito. Can he keep it in play? No. And then he crashes through those end boards. Hopefully he's all right. That's more like it from the Owls. The high press, winning the ball back quickly onto the front foot. Generally, putting the ball out in front of Ryan Jiba that he can run onto is a great idea. At that time, just not quite enough space for him to track it down. punt. Good shout from Nuhu. His teammates let it go. Nuhu taking this moment to lecture his back line on something he didn't like. He's never had to pick this ball up. He's under no pressure, so under no compulsion to do anything with it until he is good and ready. Brito, a little overzealous there, fouling Alex Morel. He wanted to make sure there was no quick free kick taken, at least not in the forward direction. 35 minutes gone, 0-0. Back come Tormenta down that left side. This is a good run all the way to the end line, but then too much on it as it ran right out of play on Alex Morel. Now that final touch to set himself for the cross, just a little heavy. And then never had the opportunity. Shame to not be able to create any kind of end product from a good run. Union Omaha will return home next week for their home opener against Central Valley Fuego FC. They've gotten off to a terrific start in their first season. 4 points out of 6 in the league. Also thumped El Paso 4-1 in the Open Cup. Now here comes Jibo off the through ball from Kamatani, looking to return it to Kamatani. Vital intervention and clearance from Jake Dengler. See the kind of partnership that Jiba and Kamatani might form as this season progresses, though. Here's Kamatani keeping it in play. Doyle, Jiba, Kamatani again. Trying to turn provider this time, and well, this time the clearance from Dengler was not a convincing one. He concedes a corner, and he's fortunate it wasn't worse. One of those could have gone anywhere moments as it spun off his foot in the opposite direction he intended. Third corner in the last few minutes for Union Omaha. Looking to make a breakthrough before halftime. Can Brito serve up this time? Again, a near post service. Doyle. No foul. Play continues. Stioka couldn't find Kamatani, who had roamed out to that right-hand side. All the way through to Hara, who throws it quickly back in play. Good tempo to this match, as we thought there would be. Bit of a slack ball there, and it's intercepted in the middle of the park. Bill Hart looking to settle now. Thorne checks up and keeps possession. Jay Mims shouting up. Wants his team to press higher. Stioka looking to put pressure on Hara. Chose to take an extra touch and did have the time to do so, it turned out. Jiba elected against playing it back to his keeper. Bill Hart, again able to calm things down. Long switch to the far side, didn't reach. Alex Morel. Good first touch by Meza. It was taken off the foot of Ali Hadzik, but it will be a throw for the Owls. That's an awkward one for Nuhu. He's able to keep it in play. And then Jiba able to use his speed to get around a couple pressing attackers. Good turn by Stioka, and able to start the counter down that right. Here's Noe Meza. Meza had Skierce making the run into the box. Now Meza looking to get to the end line, cuts it back on his left. Meza looks to pull it across. Unable to find a teammate. Promising sequence for Union Omaha. I wonder if Jay Mims would have liked to have seen Noe Meza play that cross first time. Still worked himself into a pretty good position. And they sprint to that opposite corner. And what will we have here? Looks like a corner for Tormenta. A decision that Rashid Nuhu evidently disagrees with. 40 minutes in, 5 minutes to go till halftime, plus whatever stoppage time we have added on. Always a great time to score a goal, always an awful time to concede one. Bill Hart walking over to take this. Bill Hart moving that sideboard to give himself adequate room to take this in-swinger. Put into the mix. Both teams have had good deliveries from set pieces tonight. Now along that end line, Bill Hart, did he keep that in play? No. Bill Hart has been very bright in this first half for Tormenta. As has Kingsford Ajay, although Union Omaha have been able to clamp down on Ajay a bit better over the last 10 or 15 minutes. On the road, under pressure for some periods in this first half. I think Union Omaha would be fairly pleased to get to half at 0-0. They've had a couple chances themselves, of course. J.P. Skierce ringing the inside of the post about 10 minutes ago. This is one of those delicate sequences of a match where you don't want to make a mistake and concede a goal right before halftime. What was this whistle for? It's going to be a throw for Tormenta, whatever it was. Good crowd again tonight at Eric Russell Field, campus of Georgia Southern. Running through to Hart. Chris Heckenberg will drop deep sometimes in that pivot spot, and then they turned it over, Tormenta did. Montestioca looking for Brito, and it fell instead to Skierce, who's playing a much more advanced role tonight, and is disappointed with the contact he made with that. Well, Skierce hungry for more goals, and he's been so close a couple times in this first half. Feels he should have tested the goalkeeper there. Header came backwards from Gabriel Claudio, not the direction he wanted, but Nuhu able to claim. It's good winning of that header by Noe Meza, who's not the tallest guy, but really get up there. Another thing Jay Mims said this week, even the players on this squad who aren't the tallest, they still play bigger than they look. And those aerial balls and set pieces. Into the final minute of the opening 45. Not heard an indication of whether there will be time added on. Now here's Ajay running onto this, and Nuhu had to be very quick to intervene there. Otherwise, Ajay was in. And then a good takedown by Kamatani, looking to turn the corner on Thorne, who shuts him off. Kamatani, though, did he win the corner? Yes, he did. Great work by both players, and great persistence by Kamatani to never give up on that, even after it looked like Thorne had shut down the play. So as we go into stoppage time at the end of the first half, chance for Joey Brito and Union Omaha to create a breakthrough. Brito's service put right on top of the goalkeeper. Foul against the attacking side. Free kick, Tormenta. We've heard there was 1 minute added on, which, as you can see, is just about up. So one more goal kick this half for Pablo Jara. Technically a free kick after the foul. There it is. There's the whistle. There's halftime. And Tormenta and Omaha are goalless at the break. Both sides had chances. Both sides had spells of pressure. Both sides caused problems for the other at various points. Arthur Bosua rang the underside of the crossbar early on. J.P. Skiers pinged the inside of the left post later on. Neither side able to find the back of the net. With 45 minutes gone and 45 to go, it's South Georgia Tormenta FC 0, Union Omaha 0.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. If you've delayed your care, we want to reassure you we're prepared for you. Optum's commitment to safe, high-quality care is stronger than ever.
Hi, my name is Marco Micheletto. I'm a professional soccer player for Tormenta FC. From the pool, to the dog park, to the grass area outside my house, the amenities here at the islands offer absolutely everything I need to relax after a long day of training. I'm happy to live in Statesboro, and I highly recommend checking out the islands.
Vamos, Tormenta.
Vamos, Tormenta.
Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta.
Welcome back to halftime here in Southern Georgia. Week 2 began with a wild debut match for Charlotte Independence last Friday in USL League One, which featured a pair of braces. Chris Makowiak puts the historic night in context.
2 weeks of USL League One soccer. We might already have a nominee for Game of the Year over in Charlotte at Memorial Stadium. We start with Mbuyu, deflection off the wall for his first of the match. We'll tune back in for him later on. And then, of course, Fuego responding just 7 minutes later with a finish in there by Ramos. A beautiful layoff at that as they hit the road, and it was yet another road trip for them in their opening campaign as a side here in USL League One. Well, 2 and 7 minutes. Let's make it 3 and 9 minutes, as it was Ibarra. Great touch in there, and Buyu finishes off his brace here to start off his campaign here in 2022. Then a flick on, tied it up from Fuego in the 81st. And then, hey, there's another duty, puts one in. 3-2, Charlotte getting the 3 points at home, but hey, Fuego, they had other thoughts. Knocked away. Bijev finds his second of the night with a bit of magic in there. And 2 opposing braces right there between the 2 sides. Fantastic finish, 3-3 between Charlotte and Fuego last weekend. 5th time overall, opposing players having braces in USL League One history. Well, let's visit the other 2 braces to start off 2022 in the league. Viñals had his second career brace here in USL League One against Tucson in the opening weekend, a 4-0 win for Richmond at City Stadium. And Viñals, watch this here, he's going to be lethal with that secondary run behind Terzaghi all season. He finds his second, the assist from Bolaños to help out Richmond to the win. That was the first brace of the opening weekend, and there was another in the opening weekend. Back over to Fuego. Christian Cheney, great story, played with Fresno FC a few years ago in USL Championship. Now he's scoring for Fuego and gets the first one there against the Greenville Triumph. Beautiful opening here as he slotted that one on past Christensen to open the scoring at Triumph Stadium. Then later on, literally a poacher's goal in the back. Christensen got caught under his own feet there, and Cheney finished it off with a brace here to open up his campaign. And he did have a brace over with Fresno FC back in his USL Championship days, so his second career brace here across the USL leagues. 4 braces already through 8 matches, 199 matches with at least a brace to this point. Headed into the 200s as we continue our weekend here in USL League One. Coming up, we'll take a look at news and notes from around USL League One.
It's Indy 11 taking the lead.
Great finish. Cue the smoke.
It's a goal for Orange County SC and their first of the season.
And that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
Hi, my name is Marco Micheletto. I'm a professional soccer player for Tormenta FC. From the pool, to the dog park, to the grass area outside my house, the amenities here at the islands offer absolutely everything I need to relax after a long day of training. I'm happy to live in Statesboro, and I highly recommend checking out the islands.
We are goalless at halftime. Tormenta and Union Omaha here in Statesboro this evening. We see our very early League One standings. Richmond Kickers leading the way with 5 points, as Chattanooga Red Wolves also with 5, a win and 2 draws. They've played 3 matches now, and Union Omaha, this is as things currently stand. This is Union Omaha's second match along with South Georgia Tormenta. So this would be if this match were to finish in a draw, as it currently is at halftime. Let's look at those current in-progress scores from around the rest of the league. Charlotte and Northern Colorado, that has just gone final at 1-1. So those two teams split the points. Chattanooga Red Wolves and Richmond Kickers, they are 0-0 at halftime. North Carolina FC and Greenville triumph 1-1 in the 65th minute. Later tonight out west, it'll be FC Tucson hosting Forward Madison. Here's the upcoming U.S. Open Cup schedule involving League One clubs. Of course, there are 8 USL League One clubs who advanced to round 3 of the Open Cup, which is an excellent achievement. Lots of upsets sprung by this league in that second round. Union Omaha, who knocked off Des Moines Menace in the second round, they travel to Soldier Field on Tuesday, That'll be 8 p.m. Eastern to take on MLS side Chicago Fire. FC Tucson face California United Strikers FC at home on Tuesday. South Georgia takes on Birmingham Legion. You see Richmond facing North Carolina Fusion under 23s. That's a good draw for them in theory, but you never know. It's the Cup. Forward Madison, tasty home match against Minnesota United. Sacramento Republic and Central Valley Fuego FC. Greenville triumph at home to new MLS side Charlotte FC. And Northern Colorado on the road to Real Salt Lake to look to spring another big upset of their own in the Cup. Let's look at the league schedule for next Saturday, as League One action will continue with Greenville triumph versus South Georgia. South Georgia finally goes on the road in league play. Union Omaha will have their home opener against Central Valley Fuego FC. That will be a really intriguing matchup, as Central Valley starting the season so well. Chattanooga Red Wolves at home to FC Tucson, and Richmond Kickers will travel to face Charlotte Independence. Again, 0-0 tonight between Tormenta and Union Omaha. We'll see if one of these two sides can find the breakthrough in the second half when we come back. Second half kickoff straight ahead.
Are you suffering from hip or knee pain? Don't let the pain hold you back. The region's most experienced robotic joint replacement team at Optum Health System offers an individually tailored approach that is more precise and creates smaller incisions. For you, that can mean a faster recovery with less pain. Your comeback starts here. Call today to find out if robotic-assisted joint replacement is right for you.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, will be to save Bullock County from slow internet. To do so, you must recruit an exceptional tech team. They must be fast, reliable, and absolutely fearless. Time is of the essence. Bullock's internet is dependent on your success.
Vamos, Tormenta. 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 Vamos, Tormenta.
Counting down to our second half kickoff here in Statesboro. They're having a great time, and it was a fun opening 45 minutes, even though we did not see any goals between Tormenta FC and Union Omaha. Let's see the highlights from those opening 45, and we'll see some of those near misses. And it began in the 10th minute. Tormenta FC, they had some joy down that left side early, especially with Kingsford Ajay, who served a great cross in, and Arthur Bosowa threw himself at it and clanged it off the underside of the bar. It was a great cross from Ajay, wasn't it? Swinging it in with that right foot, and Bosowa clipping it on the short hop, and it just stayed out. Then in the 30th minute, they were at it again. Switch of play out to the right, taken down by Curtis Thorne. What a great interplay this was between he and Bill Hart, and then Thorne pulled it back, and Alex Morrell just wasn't able to get much on that finish at the near post. And it turned into a relatively simple save for Nuhu when it did not appear that it would be. A great link-up play, just lacking the finishing touch. Union Omaha survived that, and then a couple minutes later, they came ever so close to taking the lead themselves. A high floated cross into the box. Fell to the edge of the area, and then after a ricochet, J.P. Skierce just hit the inside of that left upright. Again, Skierce, 2 goals in his first 2 matches this year, so nearly made it 3-3. Missed it by that much, and so 0-0 at the break. First half stats sees Union Omaha with 8 shots to 7 for Tormenta, but Tormenta put 2 on frame. Union Omaha, you see all 8 of theirs off target. Possession was fairly even. And that's a bit abnormal for Union Omaha, especially away from home. They'll often have much less possession than their opponents, even though they often still win those matches. They don't necessarily need a lot of the ball in order to turn it into chances and goals, but fairly even in that first half. You see Union Omaha with 2 players on yellow cards. That's J.P. Skierce and Dalton Knudsen. Nobody was carded for Tormenta, so something to keep an eye on and remember in the second half. Certainly those 2 players, Skierce and Knudsen, have to be mindful of that. So in half number 2, it'll be Union Omaha from left to right across your screen. They're in the all-white kits tonight. First time we've seen that white-on-white combo from them this year. And Tormenta in those brand new magenta and blue kits. And they will be from right to left. It will be Union Omaha to kick off in the second half. Our referee Islen Hexenar, ready to get us back underway. And off we go again. Both these sides looking for their first win of the new league campaign, hoping for a breakthrough in half number 2. Noe Meza had some interesting moments in that first half. Rashid Nuhu. He was never afraid to take his time when that ball falls to him. We've not seen a huge amount of pressing from Tormenta so far. Long ball nearly found Meza, and we've seen Nuhu connect with strikers directly plenty of times the last couple of years. Wasn't too far away from doing it there. Tormenta wanted a free kick there. They felt Kingsford Ajay was being held. An attack here. Not the best ball from Cabral. Throw for Tormenta right on that halfway line. Tormenta so far have played 225 minutes of soccer this season between the league opener and the Open Cup second round match. And they lost 1-0 to NCFC. They beat Charleston Battery 1-0. So 1 goal for, 1 goal against in 5 halves thus far. This will be a free kick for Union Omaha, and Tormenta, led by Curtis Thorne, are indignant about that. J.P. Skierce tried to steal about 15 yards or so on the free kick. Can't fault him for trying. The referee was not buying it. I want to remind you that celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of USL League One. Choose what you play with at SelectSportAmerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. Union Omaha then were offside, apparently, from the resulting kick. So a bit of a choppy start to this second half. No changes for either side at the break. Not too surprising. Again, both these teams have to play 3 matches in 7 days starting tonight. Ajay puts the cross in, but straight down the throat of Nuhu. Union Omaha traveling to Chicago for Tuesday's third-round Open Cup match. This free kick goes Tormenta's direction, which Noe Meza was bemused by. Tormenta also on the road for their Tuesday Open Cup match, and then both sides will play again next weekend. Union Omaha with a number of knocks after their match at Forward Madison last weekend. That was a very physical game. Jay Mims admitted this week, we're beat up a bit. He said it's not really a great time for 3 games in 7 days. We're not real deep right now. Hanging in well so far tonight. This is down by the corner flag, and Melbosowa had a chance to keep it in play, but then misplayed it, and it's a goal kick. By the way, I want to say hello to the Union Omaha supporters and members of Parliament Supporters Group. We're watching from the corner kick. Our watch party in Omaha. They're there every road match. And Union Omaha finally home for their league home opener at Werner Park next weekend. Long run for Morrell, unable to track that ball down. And was not going to allow Union Omaha to take a quick throw. 5 minutes into the second half. Amir Alihodzik walked forward a good 10 yards there before taking that throw. Nobody stopped him. Why not? Union Omaha trying to construct an attack from that sequence. Yells for handball. Good job by Claudio to get his foot in there to break up that attack. And then a bad challenge. And that's the first yellow of the night shown to Tormenta. And it's Adrian Billhart who goes into the book as he scythed down Connor Doyle. Don't think Billhart can have too many complaints. Connor Doyle start to react and then stop himself smartly. So, we talked about Union Omaha with those 2 players who were on a card. Now Tormenta has 1. Here they go on the attack, and it's Billhart streaking down that right side. Ran into a wall of white shirts. Flying header from Thorne. Goes out into touch. Jay Mims said on Thursday, Tormenta's got some quicker players, guys who can run at you. I think they'll be pretty direct against us. That is how it has played out so far. Bosowa just about punched that ball out of the air, I think. Well, he's trying to say it hit his shoulder. Whether he was trying to or not, it looked like that arm swung through the air and made contact with the ball. And now Another tackle by Bill Hart. He was just carded a moment ago, remember? And he took down J.P. Skierce. Referee having a little think about this, and I think he's going to have a word of warning with Bill Hart. Might be a final warning. Bill Hart feeling the challenge wasn't worthy of that kind of lecture, but I mean, just gone into the book a couple minutes ago. He's got to be careful. And Brito lines up the free kick. Swinging it too far this time. That's really one of the first times this year that a Joey Brito set piece delivery hasn't caused some danger. Good team defending and harassing of the ball in the midfield by Union Omaha to win it back there. Ali Hadzik looking for the line-splitting pass. Didn't reach Meza. It will be an attacking throw, though, for the visitors. Hadzik trotting forward to take it. See Meza trying to weave between defenders. Bosua having to drop deep to get a hold of the ball. It's not really where Tormenta want him getting on the ball. They want him in the box and find his head with crosses. That early service from Ajay to Bosua that he hit the bar from. Showed you that in the halftime highlights. Bosua hasn't had a ton of service since then. I think Ian Cameron will feel that again so far tonight, and they've not given him nearly enough to work with. That's to Union Omaha's credit as well, of course. It was a good settle by Montes Dioca, and then it nearly ran away from him and turned into a dangerous counter. Ball pinging around. Can Union Omaha create something from that chaos? No, thanks to another very calm play from Deshaun Nemhart. It was really looked classy early on this season. Very neat and tidy header back to his goalkeeper there. Now Ajay weaving his way and keeping hold of the ball and spreading it out on the right to Thorne. Thorne looking to track it down by the corner flag. Had to stab at it to keep it in play and forced an awkward situation for Rashid Nuhu, who had to show clean hands right under his own crossbar to keep that out. Cameron liking the effort of his team there, defending that long kick. It continues to be a very direct game in both directions. And straight over the top there. Far too much on it for Bill Hart. Gave the thumbs up, though. Liked the idea from his teammate. Now here's a marauding run by Ryan Jiba. We haven't seen him get loose down that left side much. He thought he was impeded, and it's a goal kick. Jake Dengler doing enough without committing the foul. Again, that's what Union Omaha want Jiba to do. Get the ball, run at the defense. Motor down that left wing. So nearly set up the winner in the final minute of stoppage time against Forward Madison last week. Took a spectacular goal line clearance. Otherwise, Noe Meza would have had a tap in after an electric run by Jiba, who would play that entire match just as he has so far tonight. Still had the energy and the speed in that 95th minute. to create a great moment that nearly resulted in a spectacular winning goal. And tumbling over the back of Arthur Bosua was Gabriel Claudio, and he's penalized for that. Free kick for Tormenta. Referee marching off the paces for that Union Omaha wall. So Cabral talking that over with Joshua Phelps. Cabral straight into the wall. Came back out to Heckenberg, tried to deliver it out wide, flicked out a play by Ali Hadzik. Side with a throw. Morel takes. Nemhart. Cabral, that's a decent idea. And the foul committed by Heckenberg. Yet to see any kind of clear chance in this second half. And Union Omaha had 8 shots in the opening 45, none of them on target. J.P. Skierce did hit the post. Tormenta with 7 shots, 2 on frame, plus a crossbar. Pinged forward by Doyle. Nemhart heads it out. Ali Hadzik searching for a teammate from the throw. Mesa stabbed it back to him. Jiba taking it out of the air, unable to touch it to a teammate. And now, for a moment, it looked as though Adrian Billhart might be able to scamper down that right. Good job to come across by Dalton Knutson to put a stop to that. Approaching the hour mark at 0-0. Good defending by Omaha down in that corner. That was not quite where Ryan Jiba was intending to put that kick. His teammates were alert to it. Again, we talked about it earlier. Jiba has never been a defender until the last 6 weeks of preseason, plus the first 2 matches of this year. So still learning that position. Tons of raw ability and talent, though. Now, Ajay suddenly has a ball to run onto. Ajay didn't have enough room to track it down as he tussled with Gabriel Claudio, who did enough. And that's that directness that we've seen throughout this match from both sides, really. One simple ball and suddenly there's some danger, but neither team's wingers have been able to take that good final touch by the end line to set themselves up for a dangerous cross. Big header from Jake Dengler in defense. And Joshua Phelps continue to be very solid at that heart of the Tormenta back line. Hara. It's a good distribution to find his teammate Morel. Ajay was well defended. Nemhart trying to shield it out. Mesa got a foot to it. Cabral picks it up. Phelps. Good ball. Lots of space there. This is Curtis Thorne. Thorne looking for the overlapping run of Adrian Billhart. Billhart onto it now. Thought about trying to clip in across, didn't have the angle to do so. Billhart. He's been in the middle of most of the dangerous moments for Tormenta over this opening hour plus. And then over the top it goes, and a foul given. And the light pressure relieved on Omaha for now. Jay Mims was really pleased with his team's attack last weekend, going away to Madison in a hostile environment, scoring 2 goals on the road, coming away with a point, even though he said his team was really disappointed not to win after leading twice and having that near winner in the 95th minute. He said after replacing about 30 goals from last year, lost so many players to higher levels, they weren't quite sure where the goals were going to come from early this season. So really pleased to score twice and have a chance to score a few more last week. Not as many chances today, at least so far. Still 26.5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. See Omaha readying some changes. Looks like they're going to make them right now. So Kamal Malcolm's going to make his Union Omaha debut. This is a triple change for the Owls. So Kamal Malcolm, who was just announced as a new signing a couple days ago, Jamaican internationals, had 8 caps for the Jamaican national team. Ricky Rivera also comes on. Meanwhile, it's Tormenta on the attack here. Nemhart, Tormenta about to make a couple changes of their own. Here's the first touch from Malcolm, and he's immediately upended by Nemhart, who goes into the book. And a rude welcome to League One for Kamal Malcolm. Boy, that is ridiculously late from Nemhart. Nowhere near the ball. Kamal Malcolm, I mentioned those caps for the Jamaican national team. Also played in El Salvador for his club football the last couple of years. Jay Mims said if you can go to El Salvador and withstand that and score goals for a couple seasons with the way they get kicked over there, he's a durable guy. Well, he had to show his durability right away. You see Keziah Sterling about to check in for Tormenta. He replaces Arthur Bosua, who after hitting the crossbar in the 10th minute, really faded from this match. Wasn't able to make too much of an impact. Again, didn't get a ton of service either. Keziah Sterling, who is a much different forward, will offer a much different proposition for this Union Omaha back line to defend against. That's a high boot, apparently, says the referee. And one of those substitutes who just came on for Tormenta, Jameel Roberts, immediately called for an infraction and shown a yellow. So 2 yellow cards in quick succession for Tormenta. They now have 3 players on a card. See again as Roberts just trying to take this high ball out of the air and got the foot up too high on Joey Brito. Union Omaha, when they made that triple sub as Brito continues to receive treatment, they also brought on Eddie Gordon in place of J.P. Skiers. And Ricky Rivera replaced Giovanni Montes Dioca, as Brito will head to the touchline. Really the first injury stoppage we've had in this match. It will be a free kick to Union Omaha in a pretty dangerous spot. And Brito, of course, normally takes those free kicks. Kamal Malcolm also standing over it. Now Malcolm leaves it to Brito. Brito swings it in. Good delivery, but a better headed clearance. Ball recycled, sprayed out wide. Rivera had to retreat for it. Now tried to put the cross in, and it's charged down immediately. Good block by Sterling, just on the pitch a couple minutes ago. Prevented that cross from coming in. Jameel Roberts, by the way, replaced Alex Morrell when he came on a moment ago. So it was Sterling for Bosua and Roberts for Morrell. So with both sides struggling to make an impact in the attacking half, both making some changes over the last few minutes. See if that opens things up at all over these final 20. That foul given against Rivera, and this time Tormenta with a free kick. Ricky Rivera, 4 goals and 12 caps for the Puerto Rican men's national team, native of San Juan. Into those final 20 minutes of the 90. Hara lets it run into his box to pick it up. That was almost allowed to run too far out in front of him by Joshua Phelps. And now a run from Kamal Malcolm. It was a neat little couple of touches for him. Here's Jiba, putting it into the box just over the head of Kamatani. And then Brito is called for the foul. That was neat from Malcolm and Jiba. Good little combination there. Now the first apparent instance of a cramp tonight. And it's Billhart who saw his teammate Curtis Thorne motion that they might have to make a substitution for him. Billhart's done a lot of hard running down that right side tonight. Almost helped create the opening goal a couple times in that first half. Like most of the starters, he's looked a lot less dangerous since the break. Really struggling to shake off whatever it was. And Barry Sharifi, we're told, is about to come in to replace him. Doesn't look too serious for Billhart since he has a big grin on his face. Had a good game. So 3 of the original 11 have been substituted for either team now. We had just 1 minute of additional time in the first half. We might have a bit more than that in this second half now. They're starting to slow down. A couple of injury pauses. Both teams continuing to probe for an opening goal that might be enough to win all 3 points tonight. Counterattack trying to be sprung by Omaha, and a heavy challenge. Card coming out. And it's a straight red. Joshua Phelps is sent off in the 73rd minute, and Tormenta are down to 10. He took down Ricky Rivera, and he is sent straight off. And that is a big loss for Tormenta for the rest of this match. Not just to play down a man, but they're going to have to defend now against 11. And that's one of their central back pairing, who has been such a rock for them back there. And you see how upset he is. Let's see the incident. And you see Rivera making the run forward. There goes Phelps. He's saying he won the ball. So Phelps apparently sent off for getting the studs up high. And see how he disagrees with that. So Union Omaha will have 16 minutes plus stoppage time to try to turn this man advantage into a scoreline advantage. He'll begin that effort with a free kick. So it's taken over 2 minutes to reset play here. We should have a lot of time added on at the end of this second half. And finally, we're ready to play again. And the free kick taken short, and Brito has room to roam forward with it before checking back. Then it's plopped into the box, headed away by the other member of that central pairing, Jake Dengler, who's still on the pitch for Tormenta. And his role becomes even bigger now over this final quarter of an hour. Normally 2 big presences at the back for Tormenta, now down to 1. That was one of the matchups we were interested to see before this match, as Rivera onto this bouncing ball. Rivera, with Malcolm making the run, couldn't quite find him as he cut it back. And that ball ran away from Eddie Gordon. But the size and the strength in the air of that Tormenta center back pairing against the size and strength in the air of nearly this entire Union Omaha side. So far tonight, it's been Tormenta who've been able to win those aerial duels in their own box. We'll see if the absence of Joshua Phelps for the rest of this one affects that balance. Ali Hadzik. Doyle trying to find Jiba, but it didn't reach him. Now Ajay, who hasn't been able to showcase that speed much in this second half. He was able to wriggle past Amir Ali Hadzik, got to the end line, went down looking for a foul, looking for a penalty. Referee was not interested. Malcolm now. Ooh, that's a slack ball. And then Brito from behind. Referee allows play to go on. Now pulls it back for a foul on Knutson, who is on a yellow, remember. It will be just the free kick. was not a great sequence for Union Omaha. The giveaway by Kamal Malcolm started a frantic sequence where the Owls were in trouble. Of course, anytime an opponent has been sent off and you're on a yellow, referees will say they're never just looking to even things up arbitrarily, but you do have to be really aware of the situation. Referee showed leniency to Knutson there. 12 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Cabral over the free kick. Nemhart is also next to it. It is Cabral, and Cabral forces the save from Nuhu. Great hit. Nuhu got there. Showed strong hands to keep it out, and it stays 0-0. Good curl and bend on that. It was headed under the bar. It was headed into the net. Nuhu was well positioned, though, and the third-year starting keeper for Union Omaha made it look simple. Now the corner, and good clearing header. Attack continues, though, on the left. Sharifi, and it loops right to Nuhu, who on his goal line is able to claim it. Very high lofting kick. Dealt with again by that Tormenta back line. Bouncing ball. Couldn't be controlled by either side for a moment. Punted forward. Kamatani bravely got his head to it. Malcolm trying to take it down. Did so with his head. And then trying to keep it in play. He's whistled for a foul. And the referee shows him a yellow. Well, this ball initially looked like it would head out of play, but Malcolm didn't give up on it. But then straight through the back of the heels of Jameel Roberts, who was trying to shield it out of play. And so into the final 10 of the 90 we go. We've had no goals, but plenty of cards tonight. It's 3 yellows to Union Omaha. J.P. Skieris was subbed off after he picked up a first-half yellow. Malcolm and Knutson have both been cautioned as well. Of course, Tormenta still playing with 10 men after the straight red to Joshua Phelps. They also have Jameel Roberts and Deshaun Nemhart on yellows. Good press along that far touchline by Union Omaha, forcing the hurried ball out of play. And then Malcolm is called for a handball, apparently. So far, Union Omaha not able to do a whole lot with the man advantage. Still time for either side to find a winner, though. Of course, it was Tormenta who've come closer since that red card with that free kick. Cabral forced Nuhu into a good stop. Jay Mims wants this ball put back in play quickly. Even on the road, as defending champions with that winning mentality they've developed the last couple of years, they expect to take all 3 points, home or away. J.P. Skieris talked about it this week. Jay Mims likes to tell them it's great to win at home. It's a lot more fun to win on the road. They drew at forward Madison last week. They're drawing currently at Tormenta. Rivera into the box. Nobody in white on the end of it. Wild swing with the right boot then by Brito, and he put it on frame. Might have been slightly awkward for Pablo Jara, but it made it look simple. And that's his first official save of the night. Good effort to at least get it on target on the half volley. It's a tough first touch from Dengler. Made the second touch work, though. Cabral. Too much on that, and the goal kick is Curtis Thorne, another one of those players for Tormenta who caused a lot of problems for Union Omaha in the first half. They've been able to adjust to him, and maybe he's run out of some steam in this second 45. Kamatani beaten to that ball. Knutson tracks this down. Omaha patiently building out of the back. Gabriel Claudio making his first start this season. Now down the left, and apparently Kamatani was, see, across the touchline there. Anyhow, play's been whistled down. Difficult to see that touch line on the far side. Apparently, Kamatani was out of play when he received that ball. Can either side create one more big chance tonight? There haven't been too many, especially in the second half. That ball turned over. Nemhard has mopped up really well for Tormenta all night long. Jiba onto this, and prevented from progressing further by Chris Heckenberg. Been playing that deep pivot position in the midfield, almost a throwback sweeper kind of position in front of the back four. Malcolm trying to touch it around Roberts. See Union Omaha about to make another sub late on. Looks like Alex Bruce about to check in. See who he replaces. Might be Kamatani. That ball stay in play? Apparently so. It's Union Omaha with most of the possession as they're up a man since that 73rd minute red card to Joshua Phelps. Good winning of the ball by Eddie Gordon. Ali Hadzik. Down the line, that was out of play. Those little moments are frustrating for Union Omaha, trying to mount an attack up a man. And here is the substitution. It is Kamatani who comes off in favor of Alex Bruce. Not a lot of opportunities for Kamatani to try to pounce on tonight. Let's see what Bruce can create up top for Union Omaha in these final minutes. Bruce, a native of Newcastle, England, made 13 appearances in the USL Championship with San Antonio FC last year. Here's Cabral. Two Union Omaha players around him, and then Sterling took down Eddie Gordon, who took exception to that. Referee just talks to both of them and keeps the cards in the pocket this time. Just under 2.5 minutes of the 90 remaining. And again, you would expect to have a fair amount of stoppage time in this second half. Doyle and Gordon and Brito. Into the box it goes, but too far for any attacking players and easy for Pablo Jara. That was Knutson putting the cross in. I think Union Omaha will be a little disappointed that they haven't tested Pablo Jara more tonight. Still time to test him perhaps one more time. Right now they have some defending to do. Stabbed away by Gordon. Headed further. And then Nuhu with the easy take. We are hearing unofficially that there will be 5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this second half, as Nembhard intercepts another ball. Almost gave it away, but claims it back. Tormenta appear fairly content with the point at this point, but here's Sterling. Keziah Sterling has had very little joy since coming on. Very dangerous attacker. Came up through the Tottenham ranks. It is an attacking throw for Tormenta, which they're not in a great hurry to take. Roberts down the line towards Sterling. Now Roberts trying to burst into the box. Heavy touch though. Booted out of play, and we're into those added on minutes. It is 5 that has gone up on the board from the 4th official. That ball's going to stay in play. It's Tormenta with some possession and pressure here, despite being down to 10. Whose throw is this? It's Union Omaha's. They started their league season with a point away last week. They're currently heading for another road draw tonight before returning home for their home opener next weekend. Still time for that to change, though, in one direction or another with 4 minutes to go. Pinged forward. And then headed into the box, Malcolm, apparently offside. It was Rivera who headed it forward. Not a great amount of cohesion in attack for either of these sides in the second half. Saw some nice moments of build-up and interplay in the first half, especially in the first 35 minutes or so. It wasn't looking like a match that would end goalless. Second half has been much less of an event to this point. This is where coaches talk all the time about staying switched on until the final whistle. As we head into the 93rd minute. And Sterling bundled to the ground, and it's going to be a free kick for Tormenta, and Rivera irritated by that. Last thing Union Omaha want is they're trying to make these 11 against 10 men count perhaps with a late goal, but they're going to have to do some more defending here. The question here if you're Tormenta is how many men do you send forward to attack this free kick? Do you really go for this winner? Do you risk being caught out on the counter if this free kick isn't taken very well? Cabral has taken pretty good ones so far tonight. This one toward the 6. It came off a couple heads and then was put wide. It was a pretty good chance in the end. Sterling couldn't guide it on target. And then Nuhu puts it straight out into touch. Now, despite being down to 10, it's Tormenta who are ending the match with more threat. Long throw forward from Thorne. Sterling fighting for it. Malcolm took it down. Time to get forward at least one more time for Omaha. Long bouncing ball. Hara, edge of his area, able to claim. We have 1 minute of stoppage time remaining. Tormenta has had almost all the possession over the last 7 or 8 minutes. And down by the end line, this is Ajay looking to pull it back. Unable to find a teammate. Really dangerous moment that developed out of nowhere. That's the kind of danger that Ajay can present. Malcolm trying to burst down that flank. Referee not interested in a foul there. And it's away from Sterling and out for one more goal kick for Rashid Nuhu, which he wants to take quickly. Is there time for Union Omaha to launch one final attack? With Nuhu's foot, there always is. And again, it's a Tormenta head. It's Jake Dengler's head specifically who gets to it, and it's the final action of the night as Islan Pakanar blows his whistle, and we end goalless in South Georgia this evening. Tormenta FC ending the match with 10. They played with 10 since the 73rd minute, and Union Omaha unable to create much against those 10 men. A well-deserved point for either side. Union Omaha defended well throughout the night. Not quite as incisive in attack as they'd been in their Open Cup match and in their league debut last week. South Georgia with their first point of the new season after a defeat at home 2 weeks ago. Both sides will take the point. Both sides will be frustrated they couldn't take more. And we will discuss in just a moment. And look at our man of the match here tonight. We'll also see some final highlights as well. Our man of the match presented by Galactic Comics. It's that man, Jake Dengler, who was just a colossus at the back for Tormenta. Not just because he's really big, but how many headers did he win in the Tormenta box? Union Omaha have been so good in the air and figured to be good in the air throughout the season, and they did not get much joy in the attacking box tonight, largely because of Jake Dengler's presence. How about the play of the match tonight? And again, with no goals to show, it was this attack back in the first half by Tormenta. Really neat interchange between Curtis Thorne and Adrian Billhart, and then Thorne pulling it back for Alex Morel, who again just scuffed it. Didn't get a clean connection on it. Turned out to be arguably the best chance of the match for Tormenta tonight. You could also talk about that Arthur Bosua moment in the first half where he clipped the underside of the bar. Union Omaha, this was the save of the match presented by Vision Source. As that was a decent little half-volleyed effort from outside the box. Put on frame, and the only save of the night that Pablo Hara had to make. And so Tormenta applaud their fans. And Union Omaha get ready to head home for their home opener in League One play next weekend. We'll take a break and come back and wrap things up from Statesboro in just a moment.
Let us us take care of all of your childcare needs here at Kids World Learning Center, from your infants all the way to your after-schoolers. We also have a summer camp and holiday camp for those older children. And we have our brand new bus for our field trips, for the children to have fun and to learn and to explore new things all around our beautiful county. Thank you for trusting us with your most prized possessions.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. Others may talk about the new normal, but at Optum Health System we've always provided high-quality, personalized care safely. If you have recently delayed your care, we want to reassure you we are prepared to care for you. Our absolute commitment to safe, high-quality, personalized care is stronger than ever. We welcome you back to Optum Health System.
Vamos, Tormenta.
Vamos, Tormenta.
Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta. Vamos, Tormenta.
Ended in a draw in southern Georgia tonight. Tormenta FC and Union Omaha 0-0. As we welcome you back for a final segment to wrap things up this evening. Let's show you highlights from this one. And again, there were some good chances, especially in that first half for these two sides. In the 10th minute, Tormenta putting together a good move down the left. Kingsford Ajay, who was really influential in that opening half hour, served in a great cross, and Arthur Bosua throwing himself at it and just smacking it off the underside of the bar. Unfortunately, from Union Omaha's perspective, it stayed out, and Rashid Nuhu had it fall kindly right into his hands. And in the 30th minute, again, it's worth seeing one more time. Such a great little backheel flick from Curtis Thorne, and then Bill Hart returning it on the overlap. And again, Alex Morrell, just wish he could have put his foot through this with a bit more authority. Rashid Nuhu right behind it at his near post. In the 73rd minute, a straight red card that reduced Tormenta to 10 men. That foul there from Joshua Phelps going in with the high boot on Ricky Rivera, adjudged to be a straight red card offense for violent conduct by the referee. Union Omaha wasn't able to create a lot after that, though, and this free kick in the 79th minute from Gabriel Cabral forced a good stop out of Rashid Nuhu as he was able to palm it away. Cabral, good bend on it, up and down over the wall. It was headed into the goal if Nuhu had not intervened. And so our final match stats see 11 shots for Tormenta. Union Omaha will be disappointed they only had one shot in the entire second half. That was on target, but not the kind of goal threat we're used to seeing them pose, but still a solid point for them on the road. You see the possession wound up 50-50. And the 3 yellow cards for either side. Union Omaha, they were able to walk that line after picking up a couple early ones. Tormenta, again, ending the match with 10 after that red card to Phelps. But no goals in it here tonight. So great effort by both sides. You could see how tired they both were at the full-time whistle. Both deserving of a point this evening, and our crew is deserving of credit as well. We thank our producer tonight, Jake McCloskey. Thank you for watching. Mesa trying to thread as through.
we
say good night for now from Statesboro, Georgia, and from Eric Russell Field, where it ended tonight. South Georgia Tormenta FC 0, Union Omaha 0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.